He combines human psychology and magic.
The genre of magic that I do is it's called mentalism. It's where I can figure out what people are thinking of.
He is a self-taught mentalist.
It's a mixture of body language, psychology, and magic. So there's a trick to it as well.
NewsX influencer A-list proudly recognizes Karan Singh for influence in the art of illusion. Hello and welcome. You're joining us on NewsX Influencer A-List. I'm Parati Bhanot, and with us today is a very special guest. Now, he's known as Karan Singh Magic on the internet, and he does illusion. He can read your mind. I kid you not. With us today on the broadcast is Karan Singh. Karan, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pariti. It's a real honor and a privilege to be here. And I'm very excited to listen to everything. We've been talking a little bit, and it's so awesome that you're sort of bridging the gap between digital and television. And
awesome.
I'm really looking forward to
We're
this.
stoked to have you, and we're so glad you could join us. Firstly, Karan, and you've already told me the story, but I think everybody watching, I want them to know why you're called Karan Singh Magic.
So I think late 2000s, 2008, 2009, early 2010s, in my sort of social circle, my friends, everybody had a DSLR. And if you had a DSLR, it was almost compulsory that you have a Facebook page. So there's a friend of mine, Sahil Arora, he had Sahil Arora Photography. There was Divya Narayanan Photography. All these people had just photography pages because they had a DSLR. So a friend of mine made a Facebook page for me. And because everybody doing photography called their page photography, I did magic. So he called it Karan Singh Magic. And that name has just stuck since then. I think because Karan Singh is so common, I think people find it easier to say Karan Singh Magic.
So now you are identified as Karan Singh Magic. Even in public, somebody recognizes you, they go, "Hi, Karan Singh Magic."
Yeah, it's either Karan Singh Magic or KSM, or even if I'm doing shows, I'm introduced as Karan Singh Magic. Everywhere is just Karan Singh Magic.
So that's your brand now, right? In a certain sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you said that you made your account somewhere in the 2000s, 2008, 2009. Yeah. How did you get into magic?
I'd gone for a summer camp when I was 11 years old. This was 2002. And I met a magician there and he taught me a trick. And I'm like, cool, let's do this. And I started learning more and more from there. Around then, YouTube had just sort of was coming up. It wasn't that big. So I started looking at videos online, started doing Google searches for easy magic tricks, reached the 50th page of Google search results and just learned everything on the way. And then by day 10, I was a magician and I was just doing tricks 30 hours, performing for people as much as I could.
Wow. So you basically started your interest was peaked when you were 11 years old.
Yeah.
So did you then, pursue formal education, or were you very clear that you just wanted to be a magician?
I was very clear that I wanted to be a magician. My family wasn't. They wanted me to do like a professional career, do BCom from Delhi University and all of that. But yeah. I did see the point of it. So I did go to college, but I eventually dropped out in my final year because I'd started doing enough shows by then. The only formal education which is close to the field that I'm in, I studied theater. I went to London and I studied theater. That helps with performing on stage. And that's the only sort of formal education that I've had. But other than that, I've always, ever since I knew how to make any kind of decisions, the only thing was, this is what I love to do. And this is the only thing I want to do.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do, or during your shows on the internet?
Yeah. For shows, I think when I started, because Karan Singh Magic, the moment you go up to somebody and say that I'm a magician, their first thought is, oh, can you make this disappear? Can you cut somebody in half? Can you take a rabbit out of a hat? That's the first thought when you hear magic. But the genre of magic that I do is it's called mentalism. It's where I can figure out what people are thinking of. And that could be random things like a word from a book. But then if you really sort of see what I've done in the last few years, it's people's personal secrets like ATM pins or phone passwords or the first person they had a crush on when they were a kid, things like that. And that really sort of caught on. And that's what I've sort of built a career with. So my entire show is now just me trying to figure out personal private secrets about people. And that's pretty much what I do online as well. Online, my social media is more of doing these similar tricks for celebrities as opposed to a live audience, because I think there's a certain charm in watching people who are somebody in their own field reacting the exact way that you would react if that happened to you. So it almost sort of humanizes them. And I think I really enjoy that. And I think people sort of kind of like that as well.
So I don't want you, and eventually during the course of this interview, I want you to do a magic trick on me, but we're
All
going
right.
to come to that later. First,
Go on.
Karan, very interesting, that you said that you can read people's mind because that's what a mentalist does, right?
Yeah.
Is a lot of it also to do with reading body language? I just want to know how this works because a lot of people are in awe, right? When you tell them that I can read your mind.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
So of course, I won't tell you how I did it, but I'll give you a little bit of an idea. My most famous video is one with the captain of the Indian cricket team, Virat Kohli,
Yes.
where I asked him to think of a name of a childhood friend.
Correct.
And I figure out the name that he's thinking. The first thing I figure out is the first letter. And I actually tell you in the video how I'm figuring it out. Like I'm telling you how I'm doing it while I'm doing it. So I ask him to say the name to himself again and again. And if you see in the video, he did a little bit of this. It's very tiny. I'm exaggerating it right now, but that basically means that it's a pulsive sound in the beginning. So P or a B, because if you have to say P or B out loud, that will happen inevitably.
Yeah.
So I pick up on that and I say, oh, is that a P? And he says, yes. And then you sort of take it from there. The rest of it, of course, it's a mixture of body language, psychology, and magic. So there's a trick to it as well. And I'm mixing all of it. And that then gives the illusion that I can figure out what you're thinking. Wow. And I think it's the sort of area of uncertainty. Is it a trick or is it real? Is what scares people, and I kind of like that.
Okay, so very interesting. So let's say that do you think that if there was a formal course or a formal teaching that you could have, for people that are interested in art such as yours, do you think that could work and that could give a benefit, that could be beneficial for magicians?
I think, Paridhi, I've thought about this all my adult life because it is a beautiful art form and that people should learn it. But in a strange way, magic is the only art form in the world that once you learn it, it kind of sort of turns you away from it. Like, for example, I have a keyboard lying next to me. I know how to play the keyboard. If you learn how to play Saregama, you're like, great, I can play the Saregama and I can show my parents. With a trick, like if I told you I'm going to teach you how to figure out a name that somebody's thinking of, you think you'll get all these amazing powers, but the moment you know how the trick is done, you kind of get put off from it and you move away from the art form because you think, oh, that's silly. Yeah. And magic essentially is fairly silly because it's a silly trick behind it. It's the way it's being performed that does it well. So I've always, whoever's come up to me and says, can you please teach me? I tell them, go do your own research. And if 2 years from the date of you talking to me, you're still doing magic, come to me and I'll teach you everything I know, because it requires that 2 years of dedication from your own side. It's the only art form where you have to start on your own. It could be a magic kit that you pick up from a toy shop. It could be a magic book that you pick up from somewhere or something that you see online and you start looking up things because there's so much information on the internet. You can learn everything. When lockdown started, people started learning baked bread and dalgona coffee. If they learned magic, that would have been viral. So it's the same thing. If you learn something online, then I think it's magic. I think is always learned better on your own as opposed to through an institution.
Very interesting thought. Because we always think that if maybe you give formal education in something, people are more likely to succeed. But the fact that with magic, once the illusion goes, your interest also kind of just washes away is what you're saying, right? Which is
exactly
point well made. Okay, so before we let you go, Karan, and running out of time, and I need to wrap up this interview, but we want you to perform a small magic trick if possible.
Cool, awesome. Let's try it. Paridhi, very important. Firstly, you and I have not set anything up. I haven't asked you, please help me out or anything.
Nothing at all.
Perfect. And so can I ask you to think of, do you have a password on your phone?
Yes.
Is it a 3-digit password, 4-digit password, 6-digit password?
4-digit password.
4-digit. Are you comfortable with me trying to figure this out and tell everybody watching?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Unless someone wants to take my phone, which I don't think is
good. No, that's not going to happen. Also, you said, do I pick up on body language? I asked you, is it okay if we try to figure out and tell everybody? And you said, yes, absolutely. You shook your head no, but you said yes. But you've given me verbal consent, so I will try it. So Paridhi, in your mind, just say your password to yourself again and again. Whatever it is, just keep saying it 1 digit at a time. Think of the first digit, the second digit, the third digit, and then the last. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I have my calculator on my phone. I'm going to write down what I think your password is. I'm going to try to get as close as I possibly can. I might not get it exactly right, but I might have the 4 digits right, but not necessarily in the right order. I think should be that. I've written something down, Paridhi. I can't change what I've written. So for the first time, if I asked you in your nicest, clearest voice, what is the password to your phone? Tell us.
2580.
2580. Fairly common. I think that's something that a lot of people keep because I think it's just that line there and it's very easy to remember. There's no way I could have known that that's your password, though, correct? There's no way I could have known that's what you'll have.
Yeah. Correct.
I wrote down something, Paridhi, and I think everybody watching now should know your phone password.
Oh my God. I'm not sure if I don't know if I'm that predictable or if you're that good.
I think I wish I could tell you, Paridhi. My job will go away if I tell you how it's done.
All right, awesome. That was brilliant. I'm actually a little blown away.
Thank you.
But thank you so much, Karan, for being with us. That's absolutely mind-boggling, and more power to you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope to see you live someday, hopefully soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Paridhi, and thank you to all the viewers. Go check me out online, Karan Singh Magic on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.